What the fuck is up, YouTube? This is gonna be my first like sit down record video I've done yet, cause like I usually just post like clips or like like the videos I have are just like full length gameplays that I have, but little little different approach with this because new season, new year, new content, gonna be fucking popping off. But yeah. You came here for a bard guide, okay? You're probably like, who the fuck is this random ass, like 10 subscriber, fucking few hundred followers on Twitch, like dumbass? Like, who is this guy? Who is this guy telling me what the fuck to build and do on bard? Well, I got you. I got you, okay? Let's fucking whip this bad boy out. So, if you don't know who I am, I'm an absolute fucking prodigy, okay? Hold on. Let me move my camera real quick. Oops. Where's my fake camera? Oh yeah, also, I'm currently streaming right now. So like if there's chatters or something, or like I'll be like responding, and I'm also doing this in like one take. So any mess ups or anything, like they're just saying it, okay? So bear with me here. Let's just hide that. Actually, no, I won't hide it. I will move it. Go up here. Okay. Get the fuck out of my way. So, if you've seen me in your game or whatever, I always post my fucking PowerPoint in your game. Alright? I'm not going to do the whole PowerPoint because this is just not necessary for the video. But, who am I? Who the fuck am I? Well, I'm a Bard One Trick that plays this dogshit game we all are addicted to. Holy fuck. I don't play rank that much, so my rank I don't think is necessarily a good representation of my skill. However, season 11, I think it was season 11, season 12, season 11, I don't know. I was number 97 Bard NA, which isn't anything that good. But I was plat 2, 64% win rate, and like diamond 2 MMR. Last season I played a little bit more rank than usual. I got the green rank emerald with like also like 65% win rate. This season though, it just to get my name out there and to be an actual human in the community, I'm gonna go for high diamond masters just so like my word means something. But anyways, that's me on bard. I'm kind of a problem, but I also focus more on like theory crafting, min maxing statistics on builds, things like that. So in terms of like a guide for a champion, like I feel like I'm a pretty good candidate for this. Also, Rel, I was the #1 Rel in the world, mastery points. Kind of a problem. Anyways, that's me. Fucking big body, 500-pound squat, easy peasy. I have a fucking bar tattoo. Boom. Look at that shit. Sheesh. Anyways, so that's me. You can trust me or you cannot trust me. That's who the fuck I am. Anyways, Bard, best champ in League of Legends, okay? Absolute domination machine. He's a very interesting playstyle. Lots of roaming, very unique abilities, and like I'll go more in depth on these when they come up in the guide later. But his passive, how the fuck does this work? Okay. His passive, he spawns meeps, okay? These meeps, when you auto, they go with the enemy. They do damage, okay? That's what it does, okay? He also has chimes you pick up. These chimes, the more you have, the more your meeps get upgraded. Also, they give you XP. So, say you roam, you get XP. Whereas, like, say you're roaming, you get XP, whereas the support on the enemy team gets no XP. Big brain. Huge. I'll go more in depth on like chimes and meeps later. His Q. You fucking throw that bitch, boom! It hits the first enemy, and it will slow the enemy and do damage, okay? the second enemy, or whatever. Well, hold on. I'll reword it. If there's something behind the first enemy and the Q hits that, it will stun the enemy. If that thing that the Q hits behind the first target is another enemy, it will stun both of them. Okay? Huge CC. Like, this has to be one of the most broken things in the whole game. Like, you get a big, like, it's not just a root, it's a whole ass stun on 2 champions. Absolutely insane. W, he can put, it's called Caretaker Shrine. You put it down, it heals, move speed. The longer it sits, the more it heals. E, absolutely broken. You can put it through terrain, and your whole team can go through it. Absolutely broken. I will show you some like trick spots to use it on and things like that. R, another broken ability. Zhonya's anyone in it. It could be all 10 people in the game. This Bard gets a bad rep here, okay? Because this R can determine teamfights. It can determine games. It's very hit or miss. It takes a lot of practice, okay? I will tell you like the best situations to use it in later, like when we're playing. But yeah, so that's just a basic rundown. Most of his stuff, well, I think all of his stuff scaled off of AP. You can build him on hit, AP, support, whatever. But for my playstyle, the playstyle I recommend, the best way to build him. Also, here, let me fix this. The best way to build him is tank. You want to be as annoying as possible, most CC, most survivability, and just be a fucking rat. Perma-stun, perma-roam, make plays, set up objectives, things like that. Bard is an absolute mastermind, okay? For runes. Where is this shit? Runes. There's a few things you can go. If you're brand new to Bard, I mean, barely played, I would probably recommend Guardian. It's the safest rune, doesn't require any thinking, you just have it. It'll shield, I don't know if you know what Guardian does. If you're nearby your ally and you like heal them or you're close enough, whatever. If you or them get if you take damage, basically. I need to stop looking over here, by the way, because I keep looking at the wrong thing. I apologize for that. I'm fucking looking on this screen instead of over here. Here, I'll fix that. Oh wait, I can't. Okay, anyways, we just started, so it's fine. But yeah, Guardian, you'll get a shield, okay, if you take damage near your ally, basically. The reason I recommend this is because it just makes you more tanky and you don't have to do anything. So if you're new to Bard, you're learning Bard, Guardian, boom. Secondary, or I don't know, what do you even call these? Because these are keystones, these are, okay, anyways, these. I wouldn't go this ever. Just take Font of Life. If you slow or stun an enemy, if your ally hits that target, they'll heal. Okay? For these runes, Bard wants to scale. He's not playing for early game. He's playing for a late game, scale, tank, fucking insane, most max meeps, like, scale. So with that being said, you want conditioning, okay? I know people like bone plating, you don't get one shot, second wind if you're against like a lot of poke. No. Conditioning, wait for your stats, get free gold worth of stats. And like the farther you get in the game with levels, with items, the stronger this gets. So conditioning always. This you can go unflinching. But this rune is changing, so I can maybe do like updates. Okay, I'm gonna be posting a Mobafire build that I will link in my in the description of this video. I've just like done the basics right now. but I will keep it updated. I'm gonna make a whole guide, so just wait for that, because this will all change from patch to patch. Right now, just go overgrowth. Same reason as conditioning. Scale, free stats, make you as tanky as possible, get free health. Boom. So secondary here, I would go precision. Now you have a few options, because there's 9 obviously, but the only ones I would go on Bard is this one, is Triumph. So when you kill someone, you get health and gold. Tenacity, or Last Stand. These are the only 3 I would recommend. When I show you the runes, I would recommend for an actual Bard player, you'll have all 3 of these. But new player, I would just go Triumph, Tenacity, straightforward, gold, health, and team fights. You can survive. Tenacity. If you don't know what tenacity is, I mean, you should. But it basically, the more tenacity you have, the shorter stuns and roots and slows will last on you, basically. For these, always attack speed. You want to make sure your autos are fast for your Meep on hit and for damage. For this depends on what the enemy team is looking like. So armor, MR. If you're against heavy AD team, armor, heavy MR team, MR. If you're struggling with making a decision or you don't know what that is yet, just go this one. You'll always be against an ADC. Well, they could be an AP champion, but it should be AD champion. And then this, I'm a little on the edge of this. Obviously, you want health scaling with overgrowth and just for max tank. But if you're against a burn champion, say Zyra, Malzahar, champions like that, okay? You might want to skip the overgrowth, get you some extra tenacity, and then take armor or MR here. Just so, because burn damage will burn your health regardless of how much you have. So that's something to keep in mind. But in your normal games, overgrowth, health. If you're new to Bard and want to learn how as a champion, okay? These are the runes I would recommend. 4, you're trying to get really good at Bard or trying to rank up with Bard, or you're a usual Bard player, this is what I would recommend. Fleet, these runes, like I said, so Triumph, Legend Tenacity, and then Last Stand. So like say you're low health, you need a fucking last straw damage, Last Stand, boom. And then same thing, Conditioning, Overgrowth, same thing on these. So this is if you're... The reason for Fleet also, by the way, you get a lot more sustain in lane if you're using it, proccing it off of minions or enemies. You get the low move speed in fights. If you're autoing, you get the low move speed boost and the health. It's just a lot better for team fights and laning overall as a rune than Guardian. It does require a little bit to know how to use the rune. So if you're not familiar with it or familiar with Bard, just go Guardian. Also, if you want AP runes, there's a lot you can do. I could make a separate video on it, because you could go Electrocute, Comet, depending on what your goal is. So right now, I'm just going to go with standard Bard build with runes. Okay? Items. Now, do I do this here? Or do I do this... I'll jump in a training for items and stuff now. This is my flex rank, by the way, because I haven't played a solo duo yet. Let's see, my runes, boom, fleet, boom. Oh yeah, summoner spells. I can do this real quick. Always flash, no question. 90% of the time ignite, but because you want the kill pressure for laning phase and for roaming. However, if you think your kill potential is very low across the map or in laning phase, and or they have an assassin like Kha'Zix or Blue Cane or Evelynn, exhaust could be an option. Or if you have like someone you're queued with, you can trust on carrying or whatever. Exhaust will be better to help them like kite and not get one shot. So that's something to keep in mind. Exhaust is an option here, but most of the time, just go ignite. Also, I need to switch to best chroma. Boom. Best ward. Boom. All right, let's get in here. Let's fucking go. Okay, so level 1. You will always start Q. Bard is an extremely strong champion level 1. Okay? You have his double stun. The double stun level 1 if you hit it. You have your autos. You have level 2 advantage usually because of the chimes that spawn on the map. So always start Q. Always. Obviously support item. Do pots, whatever. Boom. Now, right now, off of spawn, I would go here, wait for your chimes to spawn. Okay? So you go here, we'll wait for them to spawn, and then, depending on if your team's invading, whatever the case, right? Grab your chimes if you can. Right now, mine are here and here. But what I recommend level 1, go here in the bush, okay? This is matchup dependent. If you're against tanks or an AP, like a caster like Xerath or something, but I recommend going here. I'm gonna be behind, so like I'm gonna be showing you stuff that isn't necessarily like the right time for game state. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, so come here around like 50 seconds, I would say. Start backing, grab your ward the middle bush or this bush, last second so it lasts the longest. Boom, ward that John. Then grab a sweep. Now, you can grab a normal ward, okay? Or like not switch to sweeper, but I like sweeper because usually if you're playing around the bushes, they're going to ward and then you can sweep it. Obviously, it has a cooldown, but yeah, it's you get a little bit of an advantage. Okay. Here, I'm going to actually go back to spawn here, and go over items and stuff, and like level priority and things like that, and then I can do some more gameplay-ish things. So we are. Oh, I have to finish my support item, to be honest. It's fine. It's fine. So you're always go. Oh wait, I didn't even give myself money. Let's level up to 18. Okay. So always gonna go Q, W, E for your priority because Q levels gives you damage, slow duration, stun duration, cooldown. Obviously, you want to max Q first. Then W, base heal, max heal, and move speed buff. So obviously W second. And then your E is just cooldown. So last. So Q, W, E. And then R when you can, obviously. For items, gonna want to get boots first almost 99% of the time. You have options with boots. If you don't know how to decide or you're having trouble deciding, just go Swifties. It gives you the most in-combat move speed, which helps with landing your double stuns in fights for repositioning. So very useful boots. You can go CDR boots because, I mean, you get ability haste. Which is very, very useful on Bard. One of the best stats for Bard. The most important stats for Bard, for my playstyle, for the playstyle I recommend for the champion, you want ability haste, armor, MR, health. And then move speed, I would say, is the next important. So, very important stat here. If you want to go CDR boots, you can go CDR boots. They're only 900 gold, same price as Swifties. So, very, very useful. If you're against heavy CC or heavy, I would say heavy CC, lots of stuns, roots, you can't play the game, grab you some Merc Treads. Very dependable boot. You can't go wrong with them if you want them. Plated steel caps. If you're against like 3 or 4 champions that have heavy auto attack damage, or like their damage coming from lots of attacks, grab you some steel caps. So say you're against like, I don't know, Viego, Quinn, and Samira. Grab you some plated steel caps. Okay. If you don't know how to decide or don't know what to buy, just get Swifties. They're the best option. First item on this patch, I would get Imperial Mandate. Okay. I liked the change to it where it does max damage, or not max damage, magic damage equal to 12% of the enemy's current health, which is insane. Like, say you're against a tank, you pop them with that, boom, huge damage, right? This is really good because it procs off just slowing or stunning, right? So say you auto them when your Meep hits them, you get your mandate mark. Absolutely insane for damage here. And you get 20 haste, big for cooldowns, more Qs, more Ws for fighting. So yeah, first item, Mandate, I recommend. Now, that's the only damage item that we will get, okay? The rest, straight tank. If you're against mixed damage, or you don't know what the build that I just recommend, Frozen Heart, then Kanik Rukern, then, so you have 2 more slots left, right? Oh yeah, boots. You have 1 more slot left. Now, the order in which you get Frozen Heart and Kanik Rukern, obviously whoever is fed on their team or the strongest on their team, just get armor or MR dependent on that. For your last item, you can go, if they have someone super fed, grab Anathema's Chains. Put it on them. If you don't know what it does, if you put Anathema's Chains on an enemy, you will get reduced damage from that enemy. So if they have like a 1v9 person going off, grab Anathemas, okay? Put it on them. You can grab this in any stage of the game. You can grab it first item if someone's fucking 10-0 at 10 minutes. Grab you this item. So that's an option for this last slot you have. You can go Locket. If they have someone that has a big ultimate, Karthus R, get Locket. You can pop Locket for your team for Karthus R. Diana R. Champions like that. Or if they have mixed damage, you're struggling at deciding an item, this gives you armor, MR, health, and ability haste. So all the stats you want, you get a shield for your team. So Locket's an option. Knight's Vow. Really good if your ADC is fed or you have someone on your team that's super hyper fed. Get Knight's Vow, put it on them, and fight with that person. Because you will take 10% damage that they take for them, and also heal for 10% damage that they do. So really good, really good item. I don't recommend Zeke's right now. It's weird. You could get Randuin's instead of Frozen Heart if the enemy team has a lot of crit damage. So like say they have 2 or 3 champs that have crit damage, get Randuin's instead of Frozen Heart. Trailblazer, I haven't really like played with that much. It's a interesting item. If they have a full AD team and like you want to go full armor, you maybe could go like Frozen Heart, Trailblazer, and Thornmail or something, right? But besides that, I wouldn't really recommend that item right now. Frost, Iceborne Gauntlet, I would say away from. Um, it has a good passive. But I don't know, for Bard, he already has a slow. I used to build this last season, like when I was fucking around. But being that it doesn't have the damage reduction on the ice field or the target, I can't remember what it was. I don't recommend it anymore. Thornmail, they have a lot of AD, and you need grievous wounds. Get you Thornmail, for this last item, or you can grab the Bramble early and sit on it because it's only 800 gold. Say they have like Yumi, right? Say they have Yumi. Say they have Aatrox or something that's fed. Like, get Bramble Vest. If your team isn't buying Grievous, like you can tell them, oh, we need Grievous for this person. If they don't buy it, just get it. You're the support. Just get it. You also, for Grievous, can go Orb, which is better for applying it. But for Bard, the stats, he doesn't want AP. At least for the playstyle I play and recommend. I don't recommend getting this. What other items? I don't really go over Frozen Heart much, but it gives you the most armor out of any of the items. You get Haste, which is one of the stats you want, and it reduces the attack speed of the enemies. So great, and you get the rock solid passive that Frozen Heart and Randuin's has. So like, you don't want to go both Frozen Heart and Randuin's because the passive doesn't stack. So you have to pick one. I just recommend Frozen Heart because it has the most armor, but I already told you why you would want to go Randuin's. You can go Deadman's. If they have full AD team comp, you need one more item. Say you have Frozen Heart, Thornmail, Deadman's. You get the on-hit damage with your auto. You get move speed, armor, health. You don't get the most armor, obviously, but so that's why I don't recommend it for like the normal build, but it is there. It's an option if you want the on-hit damage. And then this item is absolutely stupid, by the way. So that's why I recommend it for MR for Bard. You get 400 health, 80 MR, and you get a magic damage shield for that scales off of your health. That is absurd. So yes, this is the item you want for MR. So if they have a lot of MR, you'll want to go this item and then pair it with like Force of Nature and possibly like Spirit Visage or Abyssal Mask. So like say they have a tank and you have a lot of AP, you can grab Abyssal Mask to reduce the enemy's MR and then give your team more damage basically. So say they're full AP, I would go like Abyssal Mask, Force of Nature, right? Force of Nature is also a really good item if you need like more sustain in team fights, right? Because when you're in combat, look how much extra MR you get after 8 seconds or 8 stacks. I mean, 70 MR and 10% increased move speed. That is insane. But the reason I'm not building this instead of Canic Rukern is because there's a lot of one-shot damage right now. Like, all the items, a lot of one-shot damage, especially with the AP champs. So, like, this, I can't really see this being as useful as this right now. So that's why I have it for, like, the base build. I don't recommend it over Canic Rukern. So, yeah. Final build, Mandate, Canic Rukern, Frozen Heart, Swifties, and then most times probably Locket. It's just the most overall as an item, probably gonna help in the most situations. So yeah, base build, support item, right? They changed it. you get gold from killing minions now and or attacking champions. So you can do it from both, okay? With Bard, if possible, you want to attack the champions because you get a little bit more gold that way, so you can finish the item faster. But say you can't, obviously kill minions. And then it'll upgrade, and eventually you get to pick between these, okay? For Bard, I recommend Blood Song, okay? Because it's basically, so say you Q and then you auto, this will proc, because after using an ability, your next attack is enhanced with an additional one physical damage on hit, right? That's not the reason we get this, okay? Yes, that's a good burst, boom, damage, but it applies exposed weakness, increasing the damage they take by this amount for 6 seconds. So basically, this with Mandate will allow the people you're hitting and attacking to take. So you get 6%, or it'll be 8% with this, plus this amount of damage on Mandate. So these two combined, you're doing big damage just from your autos and your Qs and just fighting. So this combination is really good right now. So that's why I would recommend Blood Song on Bard. If you want to go something different, or if you're not feeling Blood Song, the next one I would recommend is probably Solstice Slay, because it's basically like Fleet Footwork, okay? It's basically like Fleet Footwork on Bard, because it's slowing or immobilizing. So one auto on Bard will proc this because of his Meep slow, or if you Q them slow. You get 120 health and 90 move speed. So it's basically like a cracked out Fleet Footwork with the higher cooldown. So good for sustain, good for fighting. What one more you could go on Bard? Celestial Opposition. What a name for a rune, by the way. This basically makes you take reduced damage after taking damage. So if you want to absolutely go Tank Master, not die ever, and you have Guardian with Locket, with Celestial Opposition, with Canic Rukurn Shield, you actually can't die. But for like a healthy, overall, most efficient build, I wouldn't go anything like that in like a ranked game or whatever. But like, if you're trying to go unkillable Bard, sure, that's an option. So I think that's all the items. If you want to go AP, Lich Bane's an option, obviously. Cosmic Drive. But I think I could make a separate video for AP or an on-hit build. But right now we're just focused on like the normal builds. So yeah, I think that's all the items. What do we do now? I already went over the warding. And if you want a sweeper or a ward, it just depends. I recommend the sweeper option. In terms of gameplay, right? So, you see these chimes on the map, okay? These chimes, if you pick one up, right? I'll show you. You get move speed. Boom. And also, you also get XP, okay? This XP is, it's not like, oh, you get 10 XP or you get 5 XP. It's, you get a percentage of your XP of what level you are. So I think it's always, what's the amount? Does it say in the, I lied. Oh wait, this actually probably changes based on your level. But right now it's 34 experience. And it gives you mana. So you want to, when you're roaming, you want to grab as many times as you can without wasting time. And then they changed how it works. So now, like, the more you get, the faster you get. So, like, you can get cracked out on the roams, right? Grab all of these, boom, boom, boom. Okay? Now, you want to aim for about 2 chimes a minute. Okay? So, like, say you're 20 minutes in, you want 40 chimes. About. If you're less than that, obviously you're not roaming enough, or you're not collecting them, which is bad, because you need to utilize this to gain leads on Bard. You want to get these chimes as much as possible. Also, if you have way more than 2 chimes a minute, then you're not playing the game. Like, you're just getting chimes, and that's also bad. So you want to aim for about 2 chimes a minute. Okay, so I'm going to grab these. There's also chime milestones you want to hit. So 5 chimes, your Meeps also slow, so you get that pretty quickly. 15 chimes, Meeps also have an AoE. Okay, 35 chimes, that AoE is bigger. You want to aim for 35 chimes as soon as possible, because after 35 chimes, the chime just give damage. So, well, the chimes give damage to your Meeps. So you want to get 35 as soon as possible, so you get the max buff. And then, yeah, so you collect these, they give you move speed, XP, they buff your Meeps. So very important gameplay aspect here on Bard. So right now, I'm gonna aim for 35, so I can show you the AoE. And these autos are absolutely busted in team fights. Say you have like Oblivion Orb, you can prop Grievous on the whole team just with one auto. Let's see, we're at 25, boom. Grab that. Alright. Need a few more. And then now I collect them, and I have this Chime move speed buff, which maxes out at 150% move speed. Well, no more spawning, so let's just get into some gameplay. So his Q stun, okay? Let's spawn some dummies. There is a lot of intricacies with his Q and his R and things like that. So I don't think I can cover all of them, but I can definitely show you some of them. I don't know. I don't use this tool very much. I need to make these invincible so the game doesn't end. Okay. Spawn ally dummy. Boom. Actually, I don't need that. God damn it. Spawn enemy dummy. Boom. Boom. Okay, so his Q, right? I throw it. It slows this guy. Now, because of our items, we get mandate proc, and I don't have my support item, but the auto would proc the support damage, the support item damage. So, Q, if I Q this person, I don't know if it's far enough, and it hits something behind them, it will stun this one. So Q, let me move it closer just for... It will stun this guy, right? On that. Now, if you just Q and hit them, it doesn't do anything. It just slows, right? And does damage. Now, if you have enemies that are close to each other, it stuns both of them, okay? And this is absolutely absurd for team fights. And so, when you're team fighting and your Q's up, the reason we go Swifties is because you want to get the angles to hit these stuns, right? You want to always try to stun at least one, if not two people, okay? So, Getting the angles right is tricky. The hitbox is funny, so there's a lot of things you can do in stun, right? So, like, for instance, let's put this here, right? Watch this. Oh, wait. Maybe I need to be a little more this way. Well, what I'm trying to show you is that... There we go. If the enemy is close enough to a wall that they're next to, this is the hitbox of your Q, okay? If they're next to a wall or a player and it hits them, it will stun them on the wall that's next to them. So it doesn't necessarily have to be behind them. It just has to be in the hitbox of the Q. So, like, you can hit really weird angles and stuns with this. And it takes practice. It takes games to learn where these can happen and how they can happen, and just learning his Q stun, right? You can also stun people that are next to each other with this idea. So, like, you see, you can stun people that are next to each other with your Q. It's insane, right? They don't have to be directly behind each other to be able to hit the stun. Next, this is something that happens a lot in games. The second part of your Q, okay, it doesn't, I don't know how to explain this, right? Say there's a moving target, okay? Say this guy's moving, and I Q them here. The second part of the Q will be from the initial position that you hit them from. So say you Q your enemy, and they flash away from you, okay? So you Q them, boom, they flash. But there was a wall behind where they flashed from. They will get stunned wherever they flash to. If that makes sense. That's the best way I can explain it. So, like, say you Q and they flash and then they get stunned on the wall. They'll be like, what the fuck? How did I get stunned? But it's because the Q, the second part of it, is from where the initial part landed at or hit from. So that can also cause some very nice stuns or opportunities for plays. His R. So this, how do I auto refresh cooldowns? So I recommend not having quick cast on your tunnel and your R, because this way, if you're fighting, you can see how big it is. It's just a lot more productive than just like YOLOing where your cursor is, right? So I recommend not having quick cast on those two abilities. How to use his R, okay? Well, his R, like I mentioned earlier, is extremely hit or miss. Because you can R your teammate, get them killed, fuck up a fight with your R. It takes a lot. It takes more practice than his Q to get really good at on when to use them. If you're just learning Bard, just throw it. See where it works. See where it doesn't work. It takes just practice. Practice your R's. I personally recommend the safest way to use your R is to R out people to get picked. So say there's someone in the mid lane by themselves. R them, get a pick, right? The second way, if you're team fighting, right? If you're in a team fight, you can R the back line, like the ADC or the mage, and then kill the front line, or do damage to the front line, or you can R the front line and go for the back line. Overall, in most cases, it's safer to R the back line and kill the front line, because the front line usually has less escapes, they're easier to kill, and they're less slippery. And then that way, the back line can't play the game. If the front line is gone, back line can't play the game. So say you're team fighting, They have a Vayne, and they have an Ornn in the front. Our Vayne, kill Ornn, and then Vayne either you can kill Vayne, or she has to leave, and you guys take the objective or win the fight or whatever the case may be. You can R Baron and Dragon for steals. This is hit or miss though, because your jungle might be trying to steal it, you R it, and then they can't steal it anymore or whatever. So just takes practice, practice, practice. You need to learn the cooldown, or not the cooldown, how long exactly that this lasts for. Because say you're fighting and you are 2 people, right? Boom. You want to stun them as soon as it's over. And obviously, so sometimes you'll do it too early, right? Boom. Then your Q is on cooldown. You can't use it for when they come up. Or you do it too late. Too late always better than too early. Because say you save it, and then you use it. There's still a chance you hit it. But the best case scenario, as soon as it ends, they get stunned. Because then they're perma-CC'd. The R stun is broken for objectives. Because say you're on Baron, right? And your team's doing it, their jungle comes. You can stun the jungle, stun, and then R them, right? And then more CC, and then stun them again. They cannot move for, let's see, stun duration, 1.8, plus 2.5, plus 1.8. So that's more than 6 seconds that the jungle cannot move for. So it's really important to get the timing down on these, on your Q stuns and your R's. So let's get into his E. There's not much for his W. It's just a healing pot. Put him down in lane for your ADC. Oh, I get my support item finished. Put him down in lane for your ADC. Late game, since we're not building AP or we're not building Enchanter, they're not going to heal for that much. But you definitely want to use them in fight for move speed. So on yourself, on your teammates, pop them for move speed. Also, if you hold Alt, okay, the Alt key, and you press W, it will pop it on yourself. Nice little trick you can do on champions. Alt is your self-cast key. So Alt, W on yourself. So that's W, pretty self-explanatory. Now E, broken ability, his tunnel. Out of spawn, always use it on this wall. This will take some learning to get the angle, but you want to get it as long as possible. And then when you're done, place down a pot for your ADC for move speed to get the lane faster. Okay? Also this wall, same thing. This one's going to be less used, but for top roams, obviously, you can give it to your top laner to get the lane faster. Or you can use it to go top. In order to get into the tunnel, the best way to do it, you don't want to click on the entrance, okay? You're not going to get anywhere. You want to click on the actual tunnel, okay? The tunnel, clicking on the tunnel will get you in the tunnel. So some little extra spots that you can use, right? There's some weird trick spots you can use with tunnels, like this one right here, okay? But you would never guess you could tunnel here. So say you're off spawn, your E is on cooldown, so you can't do the one from shop or from spawn. You can do this one instead. Boom. Basically same length, same distance. You can use that one. Also, you wanna try to get the longest possible tunnels you can, because the longer you're in it, well, like I mean for like fighting and stuff, you want it as long as possible. Because that way, when you're in the tunnel, your cooldowns are so say you're being chased, you Q, boom, your Q is on cooldown. You go through a tunnel, okay. If it's long enough, your Q will be back up, and then you can Q the person again. Okay, so you want to make them as long as possible, the longest distance, the shortest time. Some important tunnels that you want to know is like these two I just showed you, that one and that one. This one on this wall, okay, for mid roams, right? Just if you need to mess around with it or practice, that's fine. Just go and practice tool or practice playing. You'll find the spots. This one obviously across this wall is a new one. Pretty big for like going back and forth from mid to bot. This one's really good for, so actually this one you can get drag vision on. So say you go through it, you'll, if you get it right, you'll be able to see the drag pit. So see, like that, boom, you get vision on the dragon with that one. This one's really good for ganks. Let me go. Can I make myself invincible? There's an invincible, right? Maybe there's not an invincible. But yeah. Anyways, I don't know if I can get invincible, so I'm just gonna skip it. Same thing with these walls. You want to get it as long as possible with your tunnels. Where's the toggle player? Fuck that. Here we go. You have this tunnel you can do. Boom. That's another good one. This one's also really good right here, this wall. Boom. Really good tunnel. You have the same thing here with the Baron with this one. Same thing on these sides. You get the idea. Long tunnels. And like, you can, the reason you want to have this that you can see is because if you have it on quick cast, something like this can happen. And you get a tunnel that's shitty. Or like you want to go through here and you have quick cast, you'll end up going like this. And then you're left like with no tunnel. So you want to take it off a quick cast. You can see how long it is. If you're in a fight and it's hectic, yes, it'll fuck up sometimes. But you know what happens. In lane, okay. So let's go over everything, right? We went over items, went over abilities. For some more, now let's go over some more gameplay stuff, like actual like playing. And okay, in laning phase, you're kind of just there, right, with your ADC. Okay. Level 1, you can fight. You are your strongest level 1 and post 6. After level 1, you very rarely can do anything bot lane. Focus on getting your support items stacked up by hitting them and killing minions and things like that. Get your support item finished. Just try not to die. If you die too many times in lane or in the early stages of the game, it becomes very hard to win as Bard. Okay? You just want to scale up. Get your support item finished. Get your boots. Get your items. Things like that. Man, I keep repeating the same things. For your W's, just put them behind you, like where the lane is. So say you're like right here, put them nearby behind you. And then like say you want to keep moving them closer, you can keep, you know, and then say you're there, and then like you have your pops in lane. The best ADCs for Bard: Caitlyn, Jhin, Ezreal, Tristana. Those are my 4 favorites. The things you want in an ADC either can work off your CC easily or can survive while you're roaming. Okay? So Caitlyn, amazing. She gets a dash away. Usually takes like fleet for sustain. She can put traps down on your stun or your R's. Caitlyn's insane. Jhin can W off of your stuns. Can stun off your slows. Very fast, very mobile. Really good option for an ADC. Ezreal. Not as much for CC, but amazing for roaming, right? You can be gone the whole game and he'll be fine. Tristana. Big all in on your R's. Big plays off your Qs. She can always has her jump to get away. So Tristana really good. But yeah, so those are the things you want to look for with your ADCs. In terms of champions that are bad to play against, Thresh is really annoying because he can lantern people out of your R. Zillion, annoying. He basically does things that your champ does, but better, and he outscales you. Karma, same thing as Zillion, outscales you. A lot of long-range enchanters are annoying for Bard, just because they have a lot more utility than him, and or damage. So yeah, those can be annoying. But yeah, Bard is made to be in your face. Big annoying champion, big CC, big plays. Very unique champion. But yeah. For like see, like, I could have ended the video there, but I have a few more things I want to go over. For warding, right? For warding on objectives, okay? Like, you don't want to just, like, ward, like, right around the objective, right? Because you're already going to have vision there, most likely. So, the best thing that you want to do is... Hold on, I'm going to go get... So, for drag vision, I recommend getting vision on where the enemies can come from. So, say your team's on dragon or setting up dragon. You want to get where the enemies can come from. So, some ward in the lane. So, depending on how many turrets you have or whatever. Somewhere like here. So, like right here would be a good spot. Or, like, if you have this turret, right here could be a good spot. Because then you get this whole lane, this entrance into this bot side jungle. The next one would be, like, probably like right here. Okay, because then you get vision here and here. And then your third ward would be like somewhere in this part of the jungle. So probably right here gets the most, because the bush and these two ways. So maybe something like that. Let me get more words, because you also it just depends on the scenario, or like where you have control. Because you also could use a ward right here. This is a really good one too. You get all four ways, and then you have this. So if you can't get the lane ward, then you have this set up. If you can't get this one, then you have this one. Like, you have options. But the goal is to have vision where the enemies can come from. So, same thing if you're on the flip side, same idea. So, like, lane and then jungle. And, like, your lane prio determines on what turrets are missing, and, like, what lanes are pushing, and where your team has prio. So, like, sometimes you might not be able to get vision here. You have to get vision here first. So in that case, you have to push your vision out and then start here and then work your way towards these words. Same idea for Baron. It's the same concept. Get vision where the enemies could come from, not like where you are. So like people will like ward on the Baron, and it's just like, we're already on the Baron. Why do we need vision there? So work towards pushing your vision out where the enemy can come from. So like for Baron, the good ones are in the lane. This bush is good. One of these bushes is usually good. and then like over somewhere on this side, because then you have this whole area mapped out on where the enemy could come from. In terms of control wards are very they're okay. You don't want to waste money, keep buying them, getting them destroyed. You want to put them in a spot where you can keep it there, or a spot that you can control. So like people will like buy a control ward and put it somewhere, and then it'll get destroyed in like 30 seconds. That's bad. That's wasting gold. You want to put control wards where you have complete control over, and it won't get destroyed, and you can continuously destroy wards that are placed there. My favorite spots for control wards, if we have control of that area, and obviously these are going to be places that are easily controllable, which is why I put them there. My favorite spot, where's the... So, if we're on this side, okay, and we have prio of bot, or like, we're fine, right? This is a very safe spot. It's on your side. You keep control of this bush for ganks, and you can destroy any wards that get placed here. Very safe spot if you're on this side. If you're on this side, I would put it probably right here. This one is a lot more contestable though, so I would be careful. If they're able to roam and get this ward easily, and they're doing it, don't keep putting it there. Another thing, maybe you're getting invaded a lot, or you want to prevent getting invaded. A control ward, if you're on this side, if you're playing on this side, would be like here, or here, or here. Could be good, but it's very contestable, right? So it could be destroyed easily. I would stay away from control wards in these bushes. They'd get destroyed. If you're on this side, here, but yeah, you should get the idea by now. Put it in a spot that you have control over, and it won't get destroyed easily. And that depends on like how far you guys have like waves pushed out, and turrets, and vision, and all of that is a consideration. But yeah, for Baron, it's kind of hard to put some control words here, but if you're on this side, probably like there, or like you could put one here for invades if you're on this side. Here would be a good spot, but yeah, you get the idea. Let's see. In terms of roaming, right? I mentioned you have to roam for chimes. Yeah, that's Bard's playstyle, right? You need to roam for chimes and get XP and get your buffs. So in order to make use out of those roams and to get your chimes, you want to look for plays around the map and play for objectives. Okay, so say, and also you have an ADC to worry about to play around. Okay, so you want to roam when it's safe to roam for your ADC. That could be after they just backed, right? So say you and your ADC just backed. Go roam, go top, go mid, and then meet them back at lane. Or if you have the lane frozen on your side, if you don't know what that is, then I recommend looking at like a wave management tutorial or something. But if you have the wave frozen on your side, you can roam. If your ADC is farming under turret safely, and not complaining, or like it's fine, they're farming, you can go roam. If you just shove the wave, you can roam. There's just all when and where Bard can roam is very dependent on the wave state in the bot lane. Okay, and that takes practice and learning, and I can't really go into that in this video, but I could do like a wave tutorial, wave management tutorial in the future. But yeah, so don't just leave your ADC, or don't leave if the enemies have the wave frozen and your ADC can't play. because then they're gonna get killed, they're gonna get mad, like it's just not gonna be good. You're gonna lose the game. But yeah, roam when it's safe for your ADC. Roam mid, roam top. Top is really good for roaming, right? Because top is very isolated, and you can completely turn games from the top side just from 1 or 2 roams. So look top side, look mid, get those kills, play for objectives. Say you just back, Rift is up in 30 seconds. Instead of going bot lane, go to Rift, look for a gank mid or top, and then get Rift, and then go back bot, right? All of that gameplay stuff is more just that takes practice and experience and learning. I can't really show you how to do that. It just takes game understanding and knowing how to do those things. But yeah, I think that's basically it, right? I went over what our boy Bard does, went over the runes for him, the itemization, some tips for gameplay and warding and ganking and all of those things. Some little intricacies with his Q and his R. But yeah, I think that's about everything I want to go over. I will make a new, like, I'll continuously make guides, update my guides, make them more, like, more understandable and with more structure, because this is kind of just a one take, just to get a Bard guide out there for Season 14. All you new people trying to learn the champion or new to League. I will have a Mobafire build in the link of the video. Right now it's just basic, but I'm going to keep it updated and add some stuff, so look out for that. But yeah, I think that's about it. Best champion in the game. Let's fucking go.